one of the most common tasks that people use USP data for is extracting a mailing list, having refined a group of companies out of the 5.5 million at Companies House. So there are various places within USP that you can create mailing lists, and which works best depends rather on what you're trying to achieve. So I'll run through them and give you an idea, and then you'll know at least which options to consider. So imagine you have created a saved search which contains the companies that you've refined. So in other words, you've been through the workspace, you've selected a series of selection criteria, and the resulting group of companies, you've created a saved search, and it has been converted into a PDF listing or a spreadsheet, and this is where you can now use the mailing list creator. So your options in terms of where the person is written to are the director's home address, the registered office of the company, or the main trading address of the company. You pick the one that looks most suitable to you, and then the idea is that you write to one director per company, and you choose the sort order of the directors based on one of these selections. So if you thought that the director with the largest number of shares was the most important, drag and drop him to the top of the list and select it. And if there wasn't a director with the largest number of shares possible, then you could just go with any director with shares as your second choice. And third choice might be your sort of level one director, which is the sort of top level of director. But the gist of the story is that the software will pick one of these per company in order. And the advantage of doing the mailing list this way, and you get the mailing list for that particular report by clicking here. 2 greens means that it's successfully created the list. There it is, and you download it from USP by clicking here. One thing to say is that before you start creating lists and so on and exports from USP, go to the settings menu and choose the type of file format you want. Spreadsheet is the default, but you can choose CSV or tab depending on what you're trying to do. One or other might be better for your CRM if you're using an external CRM, or mail merging and so on. The other thing to note on this is that you are looking at a selection modes here for the various types of companies that you can be looking at, and the default is to look at everything, but it may be that you specifically do not want companies in administration or receivership. You just untick these, and that applies to everything that goes on in USP. Okay, so that's the first place you could get mailing lists. The second place is from the list view. So let's go to the workspace, generate a group of companies. We'll just do a small group. We'll do abrasives, and we'll take all the abrasives companies that have individuals. So this is a proxy for, this is quite a useful proxy for getting rid of companies that are owned by other companies out of your list. So if you pick shareholding greater than 20, it means that the age of the shareholder is a minimum of 20. So companies don't have ages in the sense that individuals do. It means that you end up with companies that are owned by individuals. Okay, so once you've got your small group, pop it into the list view by double clicking on the target icon, and what you'll find is that the list displays in the format of the template that you had last used. So your template, these are a series of templates that I've created. Basically, if I choose any of these, if I choose shareholder address, for example, it converts to the template I set up for the shareholder address. If I choose trading address and telephone number, it converts to the same companies but with a different format of the template. And at any point you can choose to export these, and that would be a good way of doing a mailing list. But let me go back one step and show you how to create the template itself. So you go with the plus sign, and then you choose the items that will be of interest to you in your mailing list. So company name and number is usually a default selection. What I would do if I wanted the registered address is tick all these. What I would do if I wanted the main trading address is tick all these. What I would do if I wanted the director is tick for the salutation version of the director name. So that means that each of these appear in different columns. So that allows you to say, dear director title, surname, so dear Mr. Smith, etc. By having these three columns. And the other area where you can choose individual addresses and so on, and this is unique to the list view version, is you can pick the persons of significant control. Again, you can pick the title, first name, surname, and then you can pick the home address of the main shareholder. And that one is really quite a responsive one, which I would commend to you if you are looking for some sort of decision on company ownership matters. The number here indicates how many repeats, so that means that up to 4 main shareholders per company will appear in the output file, and effectively they appear on different lines. So you would get company name, company number, and then the individual name and the individual addresses on up to 4 different lines per company. If the company only has 1 main shareholder, then only 1 line would appear per company. But if any company has 4 main shareholders, then it would have 4 lines, so 4 contacts. But you set this just by clicking and making your selection. Anyway, we'll call this template PSC address, and we'll add it. And then we'll choose to display our companies using PSC address. And there we have the main shareholders, up to 4 per company. See, there's a company there with 2. Keith Turlow and Rebecca Kennington are both directors or main shareholders of this company. And those are the 2 addresses. So you can use this to export the mailing list. 2 greens again. There it is. Now you can download it by clicking here. So that would be the main ways of generating mailing lists. The other way, or the other place you can get mailing lists from the system, are from the CRM. So if I go to the CRM and pick a previous project that I've looked at, so for example, there's a list of companies. So here you have the opportunity to enter specific details for any particular company. So if you had the contact that you particularly wanted to address and a particular address you wanted to write to them at, and an email address and all those sort of things, you could enter them here. Alternatively, you could click on the white dot here alongside one of the director's names, and that would add him as the contact for that company. So you can build up CRM data, which is the stuff that's appearing at the top here, per company. And then you can generate mailing lists out of this by going to this symbol here. So this symbol opens something similar to what you see on the workspace, where you pick the address you want to write to, and you pick the again, you could pick the director with most large number of shares, for example, as your first director, and so on and so on. So in the case where there is a CRM contact already entered, rather than this just being blank, this would be used in preference. So Mr. Christopher Morris would be used as the contact for this particular company, but otherwise, I would be using whatever I'd nominated in the selection here. Director with a large number of shares will be inserted into the mailing list if I don't have that. So to get the mailing list for this group, basically I export that list, and again a new value is downloaded. 2 greens have appeared. There it is. It's green dots, so I can download that. And those are all the companies that I've got, and that would appear in my case as a spreadsheet, which I could download from here. Well, hopefully that shows you that there are lots of options of where you get your mailing lists, how you construct your mailing lists, and the various benefits, hopefully, of using each. Hopefully that is reasonably clear. Thank you.